Welcome back, everybody, to the Sandbox Jukebox here on Monday Madness. You're back here with the life and times of Jack Carver, because Jack Bauer was already taken. For this round, I am joined by my good friend Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Jonathan.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm interested in finding out what this game is about. I never played it at the time of release, so
Well,
it is
well,
a
I'm glad
begin.
you're excited, Dave, because I don't have a fucking clue what it's about either. So, and I played it, and I still don't know. Um, That's all right. So yes, I've recorded this. We had every intention of playing this live, but then we got sidetracked by friends, and so I've decided to play this in absentia, and we're going to riff on the post production.
They may become difficult to control.
Yep.
I have taken the
And now we have the
precaution to
evil actor from
single-handedly
every
end this
cyberpunk
terrible
movie
strain.
ever made. Now on the
Perhaps this
main
will give
screen
them
here,
some primordial instinct.
they always look the same. It's always like grey,
Then
widow's peak,
I shall
Yeah,
be able
it's
to
it's
control
like
them.
turtleneck.
The
yeah.
next test subjects will be ready for incubation soon.
I think he's also got like a German nickname there, like surname as well. He's a professor.
Of course he
Like,
does. Of course he does.
The comm center is
Oh.
powered by a gas generator.
I love that he slumped back into the chair. That's what makes it so much better.
Oh, a demolition pack. Right. Good thing I remember to pack a few of those.
Don't be difficult.
And of course, the main character has the cool American action hero voice that everyone must have by law. Everyone goes, "Oh yeah, shot that guy in the back of the fucking head."
I think you can genuinely blame Duke Nukem for that.
Oh god, yeah. Duke Nukem is like solely responsible for half the protagonists ever made.
Like, this was peak 2004. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
It was like, right, I am in the building. It's like, what the f-
It's like, I've entered the bar. Oh, sorry, that's Jeremy Clarkson. Never mind. But it's the same idea, though, isn't it? It's just like I have to say everything with an epic line inflection to make sure people know I'm the main character.
I mean, to be fair, for 2004, this was a pretty sweet setup, like a pretty sweet engine, and it was decent as well.
Oh yeah, like famously, like you have performance issues until like recently, where the PCs are able to keep up with this shit. Like even
Naturally-
my PC now is not top of the
Actually,
range.
generators
Like,
are
you're
loud.
fucking-
Like it.
Yeah, the Foley artist is getting his fucking money's worth in this one.
Look at it go.
Woo!
Oh, the textures of the leaves.
Yes. And we
Oh,
don't
the
even get. We don't.
loading screen. Look, we don't have. Look, it's a loading screen. That's nostalgia right there.
It's
I know,
important
right?
to compromise my cover.
Not even that though, right? It's like we don't even get the satisfaction of watching the rest of the satellite collapse. It's like we just see the neck of it pop off and go, right, come on lads, next level. Let's get on with it. We don't have time here.
I do love games where recoil wasn't invented yet.
Well, considering how much of a tank our main character is, I don't think recall would have made a difference. Like this guy was born a tank, you know. He's also like a fantastic dab hand. So, in case you're not aware, the massive backstory to this game, Dave, our main character is Jack Carver, and yes, that is the way his name must be pronounced. He is a mariner, right? So he was just basically on a boat, with a journalist called Val, and for some reason, just in the middle of the ocean, basically a RPG hit the boat, setting him ashore onto this island full of mercenaries, and his journalist friend, who basically hired him out for the day, is now missing. So he's decided, you know what, I'm going to find every gun I can find and kill as many people as I can find just to bring back this bit on the side that I found on the boat. And that's the gist of the story. And since then, we've had like mercenaries, we've had evil doctors, potentially doing weird human experiments, and quite a lot of
Gotta
meat.
learn real fast when people are
God, the
shit.
amount of meatheads around on this island. One you can see there sliding down the hill dramatically, which I think is fantastic. Look at him go. See? He's sliding along.
To be fair, like the range that you get from this game, like even in 2004, like the distance you can see is impressive.
Yeah, like it's all based on the PC performance. So like if you're able to ramp up ramp it up and be able to put it on more draw distance, you absolutely can. So I'm kind of
Yeah,
quite
draw
lucky.
distance and rendering are really good. Like,
Yeah. So I'm quite lucky in the sense I'm able to probably get a bit more of a shot out than I should be, but I not to say my PC is top performance.
bye bye. And you
Okay.
see him drop to the ground like for its time.
Yeah.
I don't think even Grand Theft Auto had that at its time. Like,
No. This was a novelty. This is very much a novelty. Even the fact that the tropical setting and so forth. Like I know,
yeah,
like in the preamble we were talking about, like Crisis was brought out around the same time as well. And again, the whole point was to flex the Crytek engine, which was really high tech for the time. You know, if in kind of case of like if money was no object, how much could we push the envelope? And like I said, it's only until recently you're able to see how good it can be done if you can get the tech to cooperate.
because at the time Ubisoft were quite a big publisher.
Yeah, they weren't. They
I
weren't.
mean, they
fucking
still
around.
are, but
Yeah. But like I said, they were serious in a sense where now where they're kind of like a cash in enterprise more than anything
yeah,
else.
it's like EA. EA are the same.
Yeah, they all had their golden age, and then business wankers took over and decided to maximize the business for money, and such as the story for most fucking game companies really.
Capitalism caught up with the industry,
It did, unfortunately.
and that was it. Well,
So yeah, again, this is I want to point out as well. Like when you're watching me play this is meant to be a stealth game. But as I've learned from like pretty much the first level, stealth isn't a thing. Like you're better off getting the biggest gun you can find and killing as many people as you can. That's your level of stealth. No one can detect you through all that. Okay, apparently hit a tree there.
it's like it's not even that. It's like the rendering box that's around the tree kind of juts out that little bit more. It's frustrating if you're getting pelted with bullets. You're like, why isn't he dying?
The waxy cuticle around the bamboo saved that soldier temporarily.
Right, so find your way around, kill all the goons.
and use whatever you can find, essentially.
That's smart.
Well, like I said, like you can, and that's the cool thing about the game as well, is that you do have a lot of like freedom to do what you want. You know, you can get like boats or jeeps and so forth and pull it around. I presume you can get a helicopter. I don't know. I haven't got to
Yeah,
that stage
because
yet.
there wasn't that many sandbox games around, was there, at the time?
This was the kind of the Far Cry wasn't necessarily the first one, but it was definitely the start of it.
Because obviously
like
you
I
had
said,
Grand Theft Auto and...
Yeah, GTA was kind of the start of it. Before PC equivalents, this was definitely the front runner. I do remember actually on our sister channel, Nerds Are Us, we played a game called Omicron, which starred David Bowie, and that game adequately does have a argument to be the first ever sandbox game.
Okay.
So that game was set out in 2001, I think. So it actually predates the GTA 3 and so forth by a good bit. But it had like very varied kind of gameplay. So it wasn't an open world setting. It had like, you know, puzzles, hand-to-hand combat, martial arts combat, and shooting sections.
If it wasn't linear, then the argument is pretty valid.
Yeah, well, no, it was linear in a sense where like the main plot you can follow the main plot whatever you want, but the whole gimmick of the game was that you could jump between characters. Like you're playing as yourself essentially.
Right. Okay.
As you the player, and then you can jump between hosts essentially and see what they're doing. But the whole idea was that you could, if you died with your character, then you basically jump to another one and you see how they are, and they all have different skill sets and stats and so forth. There's an RPG aspect to it too.
So you've died already once.
I have, yes. There will be an awful lot of death in this. I will warn you, Dave. But I've for the sake of content, I've kept most of the deaths in, because some of them are quite funny and, well, you know, If this channel Monday Madness is nothing but a sequence of failures, then I don't know what is. So
Like, to be fair, that first death, I was like, how are you supposed? Like, it just
Communication
that helicopter
network
just
down.
showed up.
It'll take hours
Oh,
for
yeah.
them to restore their systems to
oh,
normal.
no, this game is like again
You should be able to move around much
the
more.
principle is sound enough,
On a
but
tight mission to you,
yeah, it can be a
your
bit
communication
harsh
will
at
remain
times.
unaffected.
I love the way your hands are there. Like, what's flying the glider?
My dick.
Might as well be, to be fair. Oh, kill the sheep, get food.
I don't even know what it is, to be honest. It looks like a sheep, but also looks like a boar, and the boar has a weird human face to it. So the helicopter somehow spotted this hand glider, and therefore went, "Hey,
Oh,
that's our hand
it's a
glider."
boar. It's a boar without its horns.
Yes,
Essentially a pig.
but it has a weird, but it still upsettingly looks human. And that's. Did you see that? Just fucking moon walked away from us.
Yeah, literally
Boar.
walked on its hands up the hill.
Boar reversing. Boar reversing.
Fucking Crytek. There you go.
We have realistic boar movements.
To be fair, I can't say that I've never seen a boar do that.
That's true. If you went to the Polynesia and saw those boars moonwalking like that, no, you'd think this game was realistic as well.
You'd be like, Crytek got it right. Right there, that's
Yeah,
it.
they did, clearly. They did their research.
I wonder if like games like this actually went on a location scout or they just like looked up pictures on Google.
No, that was quite common. You ever played Broken Sword?
Yeah.
Yeah. Charles Cecil, the designer of that game, is a famous travelholic. So he used to go to all the countries that were in the games. So like he'd go to Ireland and like kind of like take characters from wherever he was, and like Paris is his favorite place in the world. So he always sets his game in Paris. And then like anywhere he used to go to, he went for like a year-long travel in Spain. So like the fifth game was all based mostly in Spain. So like he does travel
Okay.
around, to be fair. Yeah. And weird enough, right? Another game we played on the channel was Deadly Premonition, and it was basically a Japanese kind of like team's take on Twin Peaks. So trying to do something pretty much like identical to Twin Peaks in the sense that same type of plot, same type of story, but just with a Japanese kind of like twist to it. You know, how would they have done it basically?
Yeah, yeah.
And the gas thing is like when you complete the game, the bonus features are pictures like of their vacation in Middletown, USA. For the location they picked, basically for like the what's the term there's a real kind of corporate term for it, but basically we kind of go in there to do soul searching. That's what it is.
Okay.
Or fact searching, something like that. Anyway, there's a wankery term for it, but basically they went basically on holiday to the area where Twin Peaks was done in kind of like middle
Small town
like,
America.
Mid-Eastern USA, yeah. And they basically just like spent a couple of weeks there, got the idea of the town, then replicate it in the game, and then put their own characters in it, like. And legit, the bonus features are just all their vacation snaps. They're quite hilarious, like.
That's crazy. Like that's nuts.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if there's like if there's any kind of correlation with like if you can tell if people have visited the area or not.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd be interesting. I'd say like for the sake of some games, you'd probably want to do some real life scouting to kind of pick up on certain quirks. Like, but say for something like a generic sandbox game, you probably could get away with just knowing the town, because that's why they always like have somewhere like fucking Miami or New York picked out, because that's a common area, you know.
True.
And now we have a game changer, a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
That
No,
means
this
the
was
chatting went
a.
off to silent.
I think
But
the
you should
original
still be
Call
able
of
to get
Duty
the
kind
comm
of
center.
had this sniper scope thing first, but it was never really that polished.
No.
So I'm intrigued to see what this was like.
Well, as I learned from trying it, you need to have really steady hands to use a sniper rifle, and Jack Carver does fucking not. So it only really works when you have a certain level of zoom on it.
So this one was based in Micronesia in the South Pacific. So the Micronesian islands in the South Pacific. So that's one hell of a location scout if they went there.
Oh yeah, that's a corporate retreat. That is. There's a whole lads in the game studio going like, we need to pick somewhere for our first game. Anyone got any ideas? How about over there?
Yeah, like throw a dart at the
Yeah,
map.
essentially. So now we've the one cool thing that is one kind of decent thing about this is that if you do want to completely befuddle the AI, you can just like shoot from a certain point and they all aim there instead.
Nice.
Now, I've kind of given the game away by shooting the second time, but that is a sort of a logic thing you can do, and that I don't know if that's realistic or not, but I mean these guys are meatheads, so I'm not expecting fucking Shakespearean level of intellect here,
Like, yeah, they are the kind of early 2000 goon squads. Like,
yeah. As you all know, mercenaries were dumber in the 2000s.
true.
It's not a fact.
This seems like it's quite tough with mouse and keyboard. Like,
Do you know what? I say I'm not that well versed with PC games, but I actually found this game remarkably easy to play.
okay,
It's really smooth, compared to some of the games I've played where it can be very juddery and stutters a bit. But this actually feels like quite nice to play. Like I was able to get used to it very quickly. Now, but that being said, now it's always going to get more technical later on, and it kind of expects you to keep up with the gameplay.
yeah.
But I found it quite pleasant so far, I have to say. Haven't found anything wrong with it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would you like with the story aspect? It seems like it could be very spread out. So, I've had a look at the likes of Far Cry 3 and stuff,
Looks
right?
like they're pretty excited about the damage to the communications tower. I'm headed in, but I need a diversion. Why don't you blow up the armory in their camp? That should create enough of a distraction for me to slip through.
So, you're telling me to blow something up to divert their attention from the other thing I blew up? Brilliant.
The dialogue. That guy's a robot on the other end. I don't care what anyone says. Like, it literally sounds like a tube announcement or a subway announcement in New York or something like that. It's just nuts.
Yeah, the guy didn't get much work after that, I don't think. But no, I see what you mean. Like Far Cry 3, I think like a lot of people would kind of agree they didn't quite get the formula right until that game. And really it was because like there were certain elements they didn't have until then, which the Megalomania stuff was probably here already since the start, that's for sure. Because you had this kind of evil doctor doing shit on this mysterious island type of energy. So if you replace that then with a charismatic cult leader, you pretty much got the Far Cry formula already. The only thing they haven't added in at this point would be animals and stuff like that. But this game does kind of smuggle them in after a while as well. So
Yeah.
they kind of had the right ingredients, but they hadn't quite got the procedure in place yet. But I think in the second game, animals are a lot more of a threat, as far as I can recall. Unfortunately, the most dangerous animal of all is the only threat at the moment, and that's man.
Yeah.
Like, in fairness, like I know, like the suspension of disbelief and all that, but if you are an actual tourist and you get lost in Micronesia and you end up on this island, you just see a lot of like half-dressed men with fucking assault rifles. You're gonna go, lads, you know anywhere? You know the quickest way to
To wherever. Yeah, exactly. You're not going to do that, are you?
No.
So, the guy that does the Jack Carver voice in this game, he's been in some games before, but this is his only lead role by the looks of it. So, He was in Tekken 3 as one of the guards, so one of the million other guards. He's in Heavy Rain, which was on the PS3.
Yes, I played Heavy Rain.
13, he was in 13 as well. But that's it. Like it's one of these things where Far Cry was quite a successful game. You would have thought, he'd get something out of it. But
No, I think as we've learned from this, the voice acting is not quite where the points are going to in this particular character.
oh
sheet.
yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean that's one area of the budget where you can easily just be,
But also that is another point in its favor as well. Is that like after a while it learns to make intriguing characters and good and very strong villains.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like Far Cry for me is almost a take on the Die Hard formula. Like
Yeah.
Die Hard works because it's Alan Rickman playing as Hans Gruber, and that's what makes it such a good action movie. Because then you got John McClane who has all the one-liners and has some sort of inconvenience to him all the time that's making him keep going. So if you translate that to Far Cry, well, you haven't quite got the charismatic villain yet, but you'd have the main character at the moment who's a wisecracking arsehole who has been inconvenienced. So you're kind of halfway there.
Look at that. What a finish. Boom. He's gone.
Yes, thankfully some of them are very slow on the draw. Which is a very good counter to me being very slow on the draw. And again, the real kind of like fun part of this of these games is that when you do come to like certain like bases like this,
Yeah.
there is no right or wrong answer to infiltrate it. It is basically go like work this out for yourself type of stuff. So again, you could do a stealthily and try and skip around, but just with the way this game plays, that's not an option for me. If anything, I'm doing like human equivalent of landscaping and just get clearing everything out for mercenaries, making sure this is right for tilling later on in the timeline.
So is that the red light of an alarm?
I do believe that is supposed to be a red alert of some kind. If to use the technical term, To be fair, you would be raging if you were being shot up by a guy in a Hawaiian shirt, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Like the guy is dressed as a cook in Quagmire and he's shooting and he's like kicking all of your asses like embarrassing. Now on a slither of health.
Literally like seven health.
7 bullets.
Oh, 7 bullets. You're
Yeah, 7 bullets and about the same number of health. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I wouldn't say I was slightly raging that the tents didn't give you any cover.
Yeah,
But that makes complete sense.
That's the aspect of realism you don't want in a game. It's like, no, I don't want that. I don't want the bullets to go through.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck, lads?
But do you know what I really like though is like this is early 2000s gaming to a T. So you're getting shot, and all you can hear in the distance is "Yeah, eat it, yeah." I'm like,
Ha ha!
are they gonna It's like, are they gonna sexually assault you when they finish shooting? Or it just has that really fucking dodgy, like seedy. Yeah, like let's go. Like, fucking hell.
We made a really bad call by hiring dirty old men for our mercenary group.
It's not even dirty old men. I can imagine them being like, oh, let's hire like these muscular guys to play these muscular guys as like the voices in the game.
Yeah.
And you can just imagine them standing there, just greased up, going, yeah, come on. I'm like, No, don't get me wrong. They've nailed the whole goon squad, topless fucking mercenary, ex-army, dishonorably discharged.
Lads on tour.
Yeah. Hey, look at that. That radio's ping.
They pissed on their own radio. How embarrassing.
Oh, the radio's pissing on you, but it looks good.
Yeah. It's just all about what's been done against it.
Oh no, he was a little more difficult to take down. He had armor on, I think.
He was too stupid to die.